But what's interesting about passive speakers is that nothing is per se difficult, but balancing everything and getting it right is supremely difficult.
Yes, yes. Hi, I'm Alan, Managing Director and Founder of Ruark Audio.
And I'm Jan, Mechanical Engineer and Industrial Designer.
So me and my dad, over 40 years ago, were hi-fi enthusiasts. My dad was a cabinet maker. I trained as an engineer, and we shared this love of music and hi-fi. And what started as a hobby, making speakers for ourselves. People said, oh, you know, what you're doing is really good. And it encouraged us to start making speakers. We came up with a few designs, took them to our local hi-fi shop, and they gave us encouragement because they thought what we were doing was good, and it just evolved from there. So in 1985, we formed Ruark as a Ruark Acoustics initially, and we carried on doing that for the next 15, 20 years until we came up with the idea of making a little radio. Hi-fi was, back then, was stereo hi-fi as such, was starting to fade away a bit, being dominated by vision TVs and things like that. That wasn't really our bag. I was never really into AV home cinema. We did it a bit, but with the advent of DAB and the BBC really pushing DAB radio, we thought it would be a good idea to develop a really good quality DAB radio, which we did. And that's when
Jan
really got involved. Jan got involved with this. Jan was introduced to us as a great designer, sort of industrial designer, but Jan took those ideas, evolved them, and into the style that we had, that became the Ruark, Ruark Audio, I suppose.
You had a yearning to get back to speakers.
Yeah.
And there is this idea of going back to a more separates type thing that we've been doing the integrated systems for a while, and the little speakers, the MR1s, the little Bluetooth speakers, have always done really, really well.
Yes, yeah.
And we've always played around with doing some larger speakers, never did. But I think what was particularly interesting about the Sabres is, as a challenge, is that you've got nowhere to hide.
Yeah.
Whereas the integrated systems, the amplifiers, the everything else, there's just so much technology involved.
Yes, yeah.
That it's, you know, everything's hard.
Yeah.
But what's interesting about passive speakers is that nothing is per se difficult, but balancing everything and getting it right is supremely difficult.
Yes.
As we've discovered, certainly as I've discovered.
But I think one thing that I wanted to sort of add to that was that I think that when we introduced the 100 series, it was a step up for us in performance in terms of getting nearer to that high fidelity sound that where we'd come from. So I think, you know, going from we still think the R410 is like it's hi-fi in one box.
Yep.
You know, with the tweeters again and the bass mid units, whereas before in the R series we're using full range single drive units. With the 100 series we got into crossovers, active crossovers, and I think the same with the 810. But I think, no, you're right, but it was just getting back, and it just seemed right at the time. And I think we're very lucky as well, the interest in turntables again, people getting back to music, and this is our thing in particular with this, with the 610 and Sabre-R's, is this sort of get back to music. And I think this is, it seems to me that the AV buzz is over. People are, with all the fantastic streaming services that are out there, it's getting people back to where they came from.
I can say this, that never in any product development with you have you turned up and tried something and said, nope, not good enough.
Yeah, that's right.
Sabres was just continual disappointment.
Yes. Yeah.
Not disappointment, just like, this is good, we've got everything right. And then after half an hour, you'd say, nope, not going to move.
No, I think, but it is. But I think that's what it's like with speakers. It's a combination of it. Speakers is not something you can design on a computer as such. You can use computers for simulations and things like that, but so much of it is a gut feel, and and listening. It's a combination of tweaking, listening, because little things can make a big difference, and you cannot see that on a measurement or on a analysis. It's but I think one of the most difficult things with the Sabre, we knew we wanted to be a certain size, didn't we? We look at the old Sabres, which I think will have stuff featured on the website, and that you'll see that the original Sabres were quite a bit bigger.
Yeah, well, we wanted something that is, in essence, potentially a bookshelf speaker that can go either side of your AV system.
But the ideas of bookshelves have come there. Bookshelf speakers used to be great big things.
No, this is a true bookshelf that will fit on your
That's
bookshelf,
right,
and will fit either side of your AV system.
And people that know anything about loudspeaker design will know that generally you optimize. You take a drive unit and you build a box around it to suit the drive unit. But in this case, we very much had to develop the drive unit to suit the box size we wanted to use. And I think that in the end, we went through seven iterations
Yep.
of fine-tuning parameters of the drive unit to get it so it performed well in the box, and we seem to have got it right. And it's all down to the acoustic wadding, choosing which wadding to use inside, but most importantly, this port tube, the tuning of the.
Well, we made loads. I mean, it's, this affects as you know, the tuning frequency of the resonant frequency.
Just to point out, the real one. People may ask, but now they've seen it, they'll probably say, "I want a green one, a green port in my." But it's just that we 3D print stuff here, so we can experiment, and it's the wonders of technology. You can do things so much quicker now in terms of getting. There's one interesting thing about development, I think, really, is that how quickly you can get a product from an idea. With rapid prototyping, you can generally get a product sort of 90% there very quickly. It's the 10% that takes.
Yeah, I mean, we get to a kind of looks like, works like, sounds like system relatively quickly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as you say, the last 10% is always a huge effort.
Yes. I guess what's been great about what we've done is that, as much as anything else, we make products. I'd always say that we wanted to own ourselves.
Yeah, well, our houses are full of Ruark products, obviously.
That's right.
Every room.
But
prototypes,
yes.
pre-prototypes.
Yes.
Whatever. It's just full of them, and I love every single one.
Yes, that's right.